Intuitive Souls. This is Rachel Sawani with Intuitive Soul Rising, and today I have the fourth video in my series, The Power to Heal, where I channel a message from Mother Gaia about how nature heals. And this is going to be my last and final video in this series. If you're interested in watching the other 3 videos, I will leave a link in the description box below to those videos. In the first 2 videos, I channel a message from Archangel Raphael about how emotional blocks lead to physical disease in the body. And then in the second video, Archangel Raphael explains how we can release some of those emotional blocks. And then in the third video, I channel a message from Master Jesus about love as a healing force. So please check those other videos out if you are interested. In this video with Mother Gaia, I have never actually, this is actually my first time channeling her directly. I have felt her presence and connected with her in my meditations, but I had never channeled a message directly from her, and I was kind of surprised at how much she actually had to say. So at one point I needed to walk away and come back to finish the conversation we were having, but I think you will find it very interesting on some of the topics that come up, as I always leave it open to the being I am channeling as to what they want to say on the given topic. So I never really know what is going to come, and it's always interesting and exciting to see how they explain things. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. Yeah, and thank you for watching. And so she's saying, she's just lovingly and warmly saying hello to you all, her dearest souls, her most cherished and loved souls on earth. She's thanking you now for being a part of her community and for sharing your love and light with many on your own healing journeys and your paths back to source. She's saying, she's showing how your light is just kind of streaming back, floating back to source, connecting to source. And she's saying, and helping to bring in source energy and anchor that energy into her, into Gaia, into Earth. And she's just thanking you for that. She's saying, you don't know how special you are. You don't know how gifted you are, how loved you are. She's wanting you to, she's extending her love to you, and she's wanting you to feel her love right now in this moment, and to accept with grace her love as it flows forth into your heart. She's showing her heart opening and then flowing like pink rays, flowing outwards to you, helping to connect and anchor you in to feel her energy and her love at this time. She's saying how important it is to remember your mother, that you have the assistance and support of your mother, that God is, she's saying that the aspect of God that you know as Father is not the only aspect of God there is. The mother aspect is very important. And she's wanting you to take the time to get to know that aspect within your hearts. For part of your hearts are longing to connect back to your home, back to your mother, and to understand this relationship and connection, this deep connection that you have to Earth, Earth being the mother, being the source, being the womb, the source of creation in this physical manifestation and realm that we call Earth as our home planet. She's saying you are much welcomed here. And she's very honored to have you all here and to connect with you all in this way. And so she's wanting now to talk about nature as a healing force. And she's saying there's just so much to talk about when it comes to nature. But it's really the love of nature that is in nature, that is within you and within nature and within all souls and living beings on this planet, all creations on this planet, that she's wanting you to learn, be aware of, and learn how to connect to. And now she's talking about grounding and anchoring your electrical charge or connection, the life force, the Holy Spirit of God that flows through you, connects to her electrical charge, her love, her energy through the earth, through the physical aspects of the earth, which we view as nature. So nature is very broad, and it includes all the elements: earth, air, wind, fire, water, she's saying. So connecting back to the elemental nature of your souls, of your human experience, which is a spiritual experience, she's saying. And she's saying that this spiritual experience, part of the joy of living this experience and having this experience, is to be able to connect with the elemental realms and spirit, and bring this energy of love and high vibration into the earth, to cleanse the earth and purify the earth, so that all who live upon the earth can live as one, in union with the divine, in union with the divine laws of nature and love, the higher laws, she's saying. And so she's wanting you to recognize your role and your power in bringing these energies down into the earth to help cleanse and purify and start what she's calling the detoxification process of all who live on the earth, and to feel lifted up, to feel higher in vibration. She's saying her love has always been there, but it's been cloaked over by a cloud of fear, clogging the system, clogging the airwaves, clogging the channels, and our receptors and ability to receive her love was blocked off, was cut off. She's showing that the heart connection that we had to Gaia at one time when we lived on earth in a more peaceful, harmonious way, loving way, we descended down into a more denser vibration, a fear-based vibration, and part of that journey was losing our connection to the mother, to Gaia herself. And she's saying forgetting our memories of what our relationship was, and the relationship that we used to have with the animals and nature, where we lived harmoniously with each other in balance and in connection. She's saying, and she's saying spiritual connection. She's saying there was an inherent understanding and awareness of how nature was healing, how nature served us, how nature provided for us and sustained us on many different levels. So she's showing like on a spiritual level, on a emotional level, on a physical level. She's saying on all levels, nature was providing what was needed for the nourishment and growth of an evolution of our soul. And so that is the role of nature. That is the role of nature in our lives. And that was essentially what was lost, which is now, she's saying, waiting to be found, waiting to be explored again. And she's showing like a child explores the forest, like a child shows fascination with the dirt and the grass and the trees, and feels alive in nature and curious about nature. She's wanting us to connect to that part of ourselves that has lost its joy and forgotten the power that nature provides to heal and comfort us and give us what we need to feel healthy and vibrant and alive and full of energy and life. And she's just showing, like, looking to the sun for life. It's always shining down on us, and the moon for times of reflection and going inwards. She's saying all of these beings exist to give us an understanding of who we are and how we are all connected, and how we can all come together through this connection, through these cycles and seasons of life and nature. She's saying the seasons and cycles of nature reflect the seasons and cycles of our own lives, and everything is a hologram or holographic in nature, or symbolic for the human experience, for the human evolutionary path. So everything in nature is given with love for us to understand our relationship with ourselves and our God selves, our Mother, Father, God. She's showing how nature gives you, allows you to see the expansion and infinite possibilities and ways that creation supports every living being in a very orderly and well-designed way, she's saying. And this brings joy, this brings a sense of safety and comfort and security to those who look to nature as a resource, as a power, as a gift of life, and as a source of power. She's saying this is really the idea that needs to be understood and recognized on a large, broader scale. And she's saying some of you, many of you, have this connection with her, and she honors that connection with you. but she's really asking you to take that connection a step forward, and help others to build that connection with her by educating them on the ways that nature provides and heals and helps us all to live in abundance, and freely, she's saying. And she's saying nature gives freely from the heart. And so that is the expression for which, and vibration for which, you would want to cultivate within yourselves for your highest healing capacities to show forth or be realized, is to learn how to recognize and honor the ways that nature provides, and to open your hearts freely to receiving the abundance that is rightfully yours as a creation and manifestation of the love of Mother, Father, God. She's saying you're all here for a reason and a purpose, and this purpose can be made known to you easier when you learn to connect to these qualities within, when you learn to become givers, and she's saying caretakers of Mother Earth. She blesses you and she provides for you all sources of comfort, nourishment, and shelter, whatever it is for you to survive in a most abundant, joyful way. She provides the energy for you to sustain and nourish yourself. So she's wanting you to reflect on the ways that you give back to nature and that you honor this connection. It's very important that you recognize within your heart this connection. And now she's showing, shifting to how to, or why, she's saying why it's important to go out in nature and to experience nature. And she's saying the wildness of nature as much as you can, the freedom of nature, because that's going to help you connect. She's saying back to your soul's purpose, back to your heart's wisdom, the knowing who you are deep down in your core, that you are a being of nature, that you are a free being, and that you have the right to choose how to live in alignment with the laws of nature or out of alignment. And she wants you to really notice the ways that you are living in alignment or out of alignment. She's saying when you're living out of alignment, you will feel more stress, you will feel more chaotic energy, you will feel ungrounded, unstable. You will look for, she's saying, you will look for things externally to give you that peace of mind and security that you are seeking. But many of those things will come in the form of material possessions or money. And she's saying, developing an attachment to those things. It's not that those things in themselves are good or bad. They are merely neutral expressions of energy and love. But when one attaches their identity or becomes needy in the way that they become dependent on those external sources for love and joy and connection and security, is when they lose a part of themselves and a part of their own identity. And that's that wild, free part, because she's showing that the attachment that is created is one that kind of shackles people down and holds people a little bit feeling trapped within that a relationship to that attachment where they don't know how to get the love that they need to feel secure without that presence of that. They don't know how to go within or tap into the reserves of nature, she's saying, to freely allow that abundance to flow and that gift to flow. She's showing that life is flowing everywhere outside your door, with the grass, the trees, the birds, the bees. She's saying the clouds, the sun, the moon, the stars. She's saying the dirt beneath your feet, the rocks, the soil, the water, the lakes, the ocean. She's just going on and giving you a very vast view of how much is going on in nature that we are sometimes accustomed to just overlooking or not even making a conscious effort to see or connect to. And she's saying, share your love with the tree, share your love with the flowers and the birds and the bees. Send them love intentionally every time you see them, and they bring a smile to your face. Send love back and it will be received, and you will feel the love coming back to you. And so she's wanting to just go more specifically over the ways that nature can help you heal. And she's saying it's more your relationship to nature that is healing, that has healing powers. She's saying, yes, nature in and of itself is healing because of the chemical and grounding effects. There's reactions. Your bodies are naturally tuned to wanting and needing a certain type of connection to nature. So she's wanting you to be aware that energetically, she's saying that you're being in nature, and she's talking about being inside in these natural environments is healthy, is grounding, is purifying, is detoxing, is helping your body to energetically align and adjust to the frequency of earth, to the vibration that is of a natural vibration, that is of a natural organic state for your body to experience or run on. So she's saying every being that is created of the earth needs the earth's energy to run efficiently, to heal. So it's very important to the healing process that one connects to nature. And she's saying even if through visualization, she's saying if one is, so she was showing somebody who might be, stuck in a hospital room or stuck in a hospital bed, who may be limited in their ability to get out and be around nature, but yet they need the healing energy of nature. She's saying, she's showing watching nature shows. She's saying visualizing, meditating on trees, and putting yourself in your mind in a natural environment will bring those energies to you, she's saying. And so it's all through your own effort and conscious choice and how you choose to connect to nature. But obviously, she's saying being in the natural world is of the highest benefit because you're getting you're just feeling the vibration of life. Every living thing has a vibration, but you can connect to nature through your hearts, through meditation, by setting the intention and purposefully going into a visualization or guided meditation where you connect with the trees or the animals or your spirit animals. The higher dimensional elemental beings have also a very loving and potent energy for healing and growth. And so now she's saying healing is really all about transformation and growth and a natural evolution process. And so when one learns to heal, she's saying essentially what one is doing is learning to take their power back. And by taking their power back, one is able to make more conscious choices that will help them to align to a more abundant and healthy lifestyle. And so when it comes to lifestyle choices, she is wanting us to open up to the idea of learning how to live more in harmony with nature, to respect the laws of nature, and to support nature and its growth process, so that nature can reveal itself to us, so that nature can give back to us what we in turn deserve. For we are all expressions of nature, and when we do not love ourselves unconditionally, when we do not give ourselves love and share this love with others and the world, we are essentially robbing the world or the earth of what it was designed to support, the life it was designed to give, the life that it was designed to help flourish is stunted in its own growth process, in its own evolution process, as we are when we choose not to love ourselves, when we choose not to give ourselves what we need to stay in balance and in harmony. So when she talks about the idea of nature and how nature heals, she is emphasizing that this is a two-way relationship. So one must be able to give in order to receive the benefits of what nature provides. She's saying there's ways to connect to nature and to align ourselves with nature, lifestyle choices that support a more unified, harmonious, and balanced system, an ecosystem that is sustainable and in alignment with how nature expresses itself. And so one of the laws of nature is to not take more than you need, and to learn how to live within your means. So learn how to appreciate what you have and to use the resources that are given to you to make the most of what you have. So when it comes to building more sustainable communities, she's showing to only take what you need and what is given and what is there, and to honor that connection and to be thankful for the offerings that you have, the wood that is offered to you by the trees, the water that is offered to you, and to help support that life by giving back, by one, not taking more than you need, but also by helping to create a harmonious living conditions or a community that gives back to nature by helping nature to thrive. So helping to add to the conditions or create the conditions that will help nature thrive. And so she's saying this is a long-term plan but there are many ways that you can begin this journey or process of reclaiming your role as caretaker of the land and to support Gaia on her ascension, in her ascension process, so that she can give more freely and openly the gifts that are needed to sustain the beauty and the abundance that nature provides. So it's how she's describing and showing this, or the feeling of this, is that when you respect what you have and you treat it with care, loving care, it produces more, it grows more, it gives more, it has more to offer. So she's showing that connecting to nature is really a two-way street. There's, yes, the importance of going into nature and grounding in nature and bringing forth the higher vibrational energies into nature, and then also receiving the love that Gaia has to give. But there's also the giving back of that love. So she's saying she's showing it as like a loop, a reciprocal loop of giving and receiving. And through that loop, it's like on a spiral staircase, or not staircase, where it's going around and around, and it's just going up and up and up and up. So the more that relationship becomes more reciprocal, the less we take from the earth, as if the earth is ours to, she's saying, or she's showing, I should say, taking without concern for the effects or the impact on the life and the beings of Earth. She's saying that's coming from a more materialistic and greedy outlook, where we are separate from the earth, we are living separate lives, and we are disconnected from the earth and nature. So we take what we want, and we give little in return, and what we take comes from another life form, and it doesn't help that life form to thrive. It actually takes from that and causes that life form to die or deteriorate over time, or causes harm. So she's really emphasizing learning how to live in accordance with nature, to fulfill our needs in a way that doesn't cause harm to the life on this planet, who are also here. And she's showing the animals and all life form are really here for their own lessons to learn, and their own experiences and evolution and growth process to have. So when we begin to show more respect, we will get that respect back, and we will get even more back. So although we are always supported and loved like a mother a child, regardless of what we do, we are not judged. We are given opportunities to grow and expand and learn our lessons through our responsibilities and duties, to see and witness how our actions either support or cause harm or an imbalance to the life that is sharing this planet. And so she is wanting us to simply just be aware and conscious in the choices that we make. And she realizes that these changes aren't going to happen overnight, but this is the process of what is occurring, and this is the forward motion, and the momentum is already moving on that path. And as more people wake up to their highest potential, they will begin to realize the connection and the importance of nature, and it will become more apparent why we need to really work together in our own communities and as a global community to bring back the life, to support the life, the natural world, for it to also thrive so that we can all thrive together. Because what harm we are doing to nature is really harm we are doing to ourselves. And so she's wanting us to really understand that we are never disconnected from nature in that way, no matter how separate we may believe we are. This is just an illusion. We are always connected and cannot be disconnected from source or from Mother Earth and nature, so that when the relationship between us and the natural world becomes of a higher focus and priority, we will then grow and evolve and heal from many of these systemic diseases of the mind and of the body that were really just part of our learning and growth process, part of what we agreed to experience together to evolve to higher states of consciousness. But now that we are evolving into these higher realms, we are being asked to look more deeply into how we interact with nature, how we build our relationship with nature through our connections with the plants or our pets, or how we look at the natural world as either something that is just to be used for our own gain, our own benefit, or do we look at it as a conscious force of awareness and life that supports us and sustains us and has the potential to give us everything we need if we develop that type of, she's saying, co-creator relationship. If we honor Mother Nature and put her higher in our hearts, she's saying, then we will, then nature will reflect that back to us by giving us healthier bodies and healthier vibrancy and experiences of life. And also through the foods that nature provides, if we become more aware of how we are harming nature by putting fertilizers on foods, or growing on a mass production level that isn't sustainable, if we start building communities that are more sustainable, then we will start to see how these communities branch out and begin to thrive and begin to create over time greater aspects and greater changes and miracles and of abundance, and how the earth really is built to sustain us all and allow us to all live quite comfortably in alignment with our higher selves and our higher beings. And so so she's just wanting us to really learn how to become better caretakers of the earth, and then caretakers of our bodies, as our bodies are of the earth. So looking at our bodies as a reflection of the earth, what do we see in our bodies that might be needing attention, that might be imbalanced? What are we feeding ourselves? What are we drinking? What type of water are we drinking? What are we drinking? What are we eating? These are the basics. But she's wanting us to really start there at a more basic individual level, and then grow that consciousness as we learn how to eat properly for the health and vibration of our bodies. We will begin to expand our awareness as to how we can help our local communities and our family units and our greater communities. We can learn how to give them access and educate them about the ways of higher living, higher vibrational living that is in alignment with nature and is in harmony with nature and helps to balance, keep nature in a balanced and happy state. And so she's just kind of wrapping up now, I feel, in general, just saying that this is how nature heals. It's through our relationship with nature, our connection to Mother Earth, how we treat her, how we view her, how we honor her, and how we respect her, and how we support her in her own growing process is how we will be treated, how we will essentially be supported in the future. So, and how we will I believe she's talking about us as more of a collective, how we as a collective will either flourish or deteriorate. She's showing that we are going to flourish because this is where Earth is headed. These changes are already happening, and she's assisting us with these changes and helping us make these connections, these higher connections. But she just wants us to understand the value of that as it affects our healing process and our healing journeys and our processes of transformation and growth for future generations to come, she's saying. So with that, I feel that she has given us a very broad and beautiful message about how nature heals, but even going deeper into that, how we can connect more and develop our relationship with nature so that we can stay tuned to the changes that are happening and the more positive transformations that are taking place, and through this ascension process. And so I am going to leave it there, and thank you, Mother Gaia. Her energy is so beautiful, so loving, and peaceful and grounding, as you can imagine. But I would just like to say that this is the last video in my series, The Power to Heal. If you enjoyed this series or this video, please be sure to like the video so more people can find it on YouTube. And feel free to subscribe to my channel, as I will be producing more content similar to this in the future. And if you would like to find me on Facebook, you can find me at Intuitive Soul Rising, where I also post channeled messages from different higher dimensional beings. And so I thank you for being here today. I thank you for your time, and I wish you all the love on your healing journeys. Have a great day.